Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, so today we're embarking on a truly unique deep dive. We're not exactly digging through, the usual academic papers or reports this time.
Not at all.
Instead, our main source, believe it or not, is a first-person story from a half-used bottle of spicy ketchup. From Lidl, no less.
You did hear that right. A spicy ketchup bottle.
Yeah. And this document, let's call it, tells us about its life. It was living in the fridge of Unit 420, and it describes this huge shift it witnessed, something it calls the Great Change of 2021. Okay, let's unpack this.
Right. And what's fascinating here is our mission, really.
Mm.
Can we actually pull genuine insights from this incredibly specific viewpoint? Because it might sound whimsical, but it's actually a chance to see how, even everyday objects, if they had a voice, could give us this unfiltered look at human behavior. We're talking habit change, big life shifts, all from inside the fridge.
Exactly. And spicy ketchup dives right in, setting the scene before this big change. It talks about what it calls the golden age of the fridge. And from its perspective, life in Unit 420's fridge was pure indulgence, just packed.
Packed with what, though? What kind of stuff?
Oh, all sorts. It mentions great stuff everywhere. Meats, cakes, tons of condiments, obviously including our narrator, pies,
Wow.
even ice cream in the freezer. And it talks about constant one-night stands,
Okay.
which it clarifies means, endless leftovers. Pizza, pasta, half-eaten cheeseburgers,
Ah, right. Makes sense.
which apparently were spicy ketchup's favorite pairing. It says it got a lot of action on those burgers the next day. It really paints a picture of, like, a household living very large.
And it wasn't just inside the fridge, was it? The source mentioned stuff outside, too.
Yeah, exactly. Breads for sandwiches, French toast, different cereals, chips, all that kind of thing.
And bagels for lox and cream cheese, it says. So the residents were clearly enjoying a pretty rich diet, lots of variety. It does hint at maybe a lifestyle with frequent eating out, lots of entertaining, maybe not super strict routines.
For sure. And our spicy ketchup, it felt like it was really living its best life. It says, even though it was fairly new, it became the go-to for many meals.
The star condiment.
Totally. It even brags a bit about how its spiciness basically made its cousin, regular ketchup, obsolete.
Especially on potatoes, right? It mentions everything potato.
Yes, you can
Yeah.
really sense its pride, like it felt indispensable.
But then the source itself points out that this abundance was part of the problem.
Right. Which leads directly into this great change of 2021. Here's where it gets really interesting.
So this is where we see the shift begin. Spicy Ketchup says it first noticed things changing over the summer. It realized it wasn't used as much, not getting grabbed off the shelf.
Which must have been worrying from its point of view.
Oh, definitely. It sparked this sort of, anthropomorphic existential crisis. Was it still loved? Was it doing its job? We even get its internal monologue, like think spicy K, think,
Yeah.
trying to figure it out.
That's amazing.
And that initial worry about itself then broadened out. It started seeing that the whole place, the whole fridge environment was changing, which is quite human, actually. You notice how something affects you first, then you see the bigger picture, the systemic shift.
Oh, what a shift it was inside that fridge. Dramatic changes. Spicy ketchup saw its old buddies disappear. No more cakes, no hot dogs, no leftover pasta.
Not even the half-eaten cheeseburgers.
Nope. Gone. And instead, the fridge starts filling up with, totally different things.
Healthier things, presumably.
Exactly. Beef and veggie hash, which it specifically notes was served, sans me. Lots more fruit, vegetables, even pureed chickpeas show up.
Pureed chickpeas. Hummus, maybe? Or something else.
Could be. But the point is, it's a total transformation.
Yeah.
And spicy ketchup's first reaction, it felt kind of personally attacked.
Sulking, maybe?
Yeah, it says it was sulking. It thought the change was somehow taking it out on me.
Mm-hmm.
It even mentions quite pointedly that it wasn't the mean cardiologist who apparently advised the residents about, weight gain.
Ah, so there's the likely catalyst. Medical advice, driving the dietary overhaul.
Seems like it. And that feeling sorry for itself before adapting, that's such a common stage in any big change, isn't it?
It absolutely is. That initial victim feeling like the world is changing at you, not with you, it's classic. But what's really interesting is how spicy ketchup moves past that sulking phase. It has this epiphany.
What does it realize?
It realizes that while loads of other naughty list items got kicked out, it mentions its flaming hot Dorito friends vanishing. It didn't. It was kept.
Ah, the sole survivor of the purge.
Kind of. And that realization just completely flips its attitude from feeling left out to feeling Grateful it survived the cut.
Mm.
That mental shift, that reframing, focusing on what you still have when things change, that's a really powerful psychological move for building resilience, you know?
That makes a lot of sense. And even with the new healthy regime, spicy ketchup still got its moments right. It wasn't totally forgotten.
Right. It had its showtime, as it puts it.
Yeah. It says twice. One of the residents actually sneaked home fries.
Oh, breaking the rules.
Totally. And spicy ketchup got used just like the good old days. It felt elite, it says, during those rare appearances.
A little taste of the golden age.
Exactly. And it even promises itself it won't clog its pore hole like it's trying to be on its best behavior, though it does mention its label was crossed out, like a little mark of its spicy, maybe slightly rebellious nature still being there.
A badge of honor, almost.
Kind of.
Yeah.
And then there's that other little story, the contrast it notices.
Oh, yeah, the carrot.
Yes. It discovers this gross and moldy, forgotten carrot way in the back.
Ugh. Happens to the best of us.
Right. And seeing that made spicy ketchup realize that even the better choices, the healthy stuff, aren't always perfect or easy. It made it appreciate its own survival even more.
It's a nice touch. A reminder that change, especially habit change, takes ongoing effort. And sometimes things fall through the cracks.
Yeah.
Even healthy things. So if we connect this to the bigger picture, spicy ketchup story. Okay, it sounds quirky, but it gives us this surprisingly deep look at transformation. It really shows how ingrained our habits are and how one big life change can ripple out and affect everything.
Even the condiments.
Even the condiments. We're getting these unique insights into human resilience, how change subtly impacts our environment, and how our relationship with, like, the small stuff in our lives actually says a lot about our own routines and priorities as they shift. The Ketchup Bottle's view is simple, it's unfiltered, and it's weirdly objective about adapting to a whole new reality.
So what does this all mean? I mean, this deep dive into a condiment's perspective, it really makes you think, doesn't it? It just highlights how our routines, our habits, they're not just in us, they're reflected in the silent things around us, the environments that witness our lives every day.
Yeah, the silent witnesses.
Exactly. And it leaves us with this final thought to chew on, maybe. What other inanimate objects in your life might have stories about your own great changes, or just your daily grind if you could actually hear them? What silent witnesses are watching your habits, and what could they tell you?